What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be having a look at the brand new batch that they just revealed here through data mines. So what we can get out of this is the fact that this is the upcoming Kizuna stuff. What we're seeing in this image here is the new 6+ for Arlong. Arlong Crew is getting their super evolution, so that's pretty interesting. We'll go through all of their gimmicks in just a moment. Now, as for the characters with the two icons, a lot of people would immediately think that there's two new legends coming out. This is incorrect. What is happening here is we have TOBI ROPPO as one of the legends that's debuting, it looks like, for the upcoming Kizuna Clash. Hawkins is going to be a new Kizuna rare recruit. Bao Huang is a brand new support rare recruit, and Drake is going to be a brand new free-to-play unit. So that's dope. We're getting a new free-to-play unit this time around. We always love to see that. So let's go ahead and dive into what these characters actually do, because there's going to be a lot to talk about. So the first thing we're going to look at is Arlong Crew. Shout out to Brandon for the data mines, though, by the way. So Arlong Crew, he's getting a 6+, he's getting level limit break simultaneously. So it's interesting to compare and contrast the two types of kits here, because this character, Arlong Crew, with their super evolution, is borderline useless without level limit break, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Powerhouse Slasher, so that is the same, and there's still mono strength. The captain ability of the first character, which is Arlong, reduces your crew's health to 75% of your max, and then it reduces the special charge time by 3 turns. So he's like the 3-turn cooldown reduction is crazy good. Very fast captain. Reduces switch effect by 3 at the start of the quest. Boosts the crew's HP by 1.3. And reduces the HP at the end of each turn. But if you have every type on the crew, boost the crew's attack by 4.5, and then boost his own attack by a 5 times boost. Very weird kind of captain. You know, you get only 75% of your max HP, so you lose quite a lot of health. Like, so if you would have normally started at like 100,000 HP, you instead start at 75,000 HP. It's basically your max is just reduced. Your health isn't actually reduced, but the max number is just reduced, right? So you don't start at like low HP. You just start at like a little bit lower than your max. And then you also get the cooldown reduction. You get -3 cooldown to his switch effect, which is interesting. And then health boost and then attack boost. But you need to have one of every color, which is the same mechanic that Arlong Crew had before the super evolution. So he is still a little bit restricted in terms of how he kind of builds his teams. Now you have the other side of the character. Arlong is the first character. This is supposed to say character 2, but this is going to be like the other unit, which is the same pretty much, just with the 4.75 flat buff, and a strength slots are going to be beneficial. And in their dual form, strength slots beneficial, 5 times attack, like everything is just basically the same. So no real big changes there. The big changes is when you get access to level limit break, because what happens is Arlong now will make recovery slots matching for the crew, reduce switch effect gauge by 6. This is a huge change. The attack multipliers are much higher, and the big thing is he completely resists his own special reverse. This is very important because his special obviously does have cooldown reduction tied to it. This would have been nice if he had the ability to remove it for the whole team, so you didn't even have to use his special to deal with special reverse. But having this in general as a captain is always a nice thing to have. It's just really good. We move on to the other character, which makes strength slots matching. So if you have one as the Arlong Crew, one as Arlong himself, strength and recovery are always going to be matching. And then also completely resisting his own special reverse, slightly lower attack multiplier. But of course in their combined form, 5.5 attack, strength and recovery are matching, just combining the best of both worlds with their captains. So it's not game breaking by any stretch, but still -3 cooldown, very fast captain to use. The switch effect reduction is actually really nice for their super switch effect, of course. The attack boost, and yeah, it's fine. It's a perfectly acceptable captain. Not really, I'm not like that sold on it. Like, I think this character is interesting so far, but I don't think it's going to be like a game-breaking super evolution. It's going to all of a sudden become one of the best units in the game. I don't think it's anything like that, but it's just interesting. So the special ability, without the investments, 300 times attack and typeless damage to all enemies, reduces cooldown by 2 turns. So remember, if you use him as a captain with the level of break version of their captain, resisting special reverse with their captain, and then getting access to this is really good. Become the combined form for 3 turns. If HP is below 30% when you launch the special, you boost the crew's attack by 2.75 for 1 turn, 2.5 otherwise. So you're still getting a 2.5 attack boost, but if you're below that threshold, you get the bigger attack boost. And if every type is on the crew, further boost the crew's attack buff by 0.25 and includes the buff from the special. So what it means is if you're below 30% and you have one of every color on the crew, it's a 3 times attack boost if you're below 30%. Otherwise, it's a 2.75 times boost. It just doesn't do a whole lot, really. Like, cooldown reduction, damage, attack boost. It's basically all it does, right? So we move on to the level limit break version of the special, which is a lot better because not only do you get pretty much the same kind of kit, the multipliers are looking pretty good, right? So you get the 2.75 times attack boost, 2.5 times otherwise, so it's like a 3 times attack or 2.75. And if you have one of every color on the crew, you get the buff, but this time it's 0.5 increase. So if you're even above, you know, the 30% threshold, it's still a 3 times attack boost. But it also says extends the duration of attack boost and base attack boost by 2 turns. This is a really, really big change. So it actually makes his special much better. Getting like a 3.25 attack boost for the whole crew for 2 turns. Hello, that's ridiculous. Very, very strong. But again, at face value, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't do much, right? It's damage, cooldown, attack boost for potentially multiple turns. That's basically all it does. It doesn't do that much. So I'm not that excited about this unit, to be honest. I know some people are probably going to be excited about it because this unit is going to obviously be very good for one of those Grand Voyages. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, the one where you have to use Arlong for it. I get it. People are going to be excited for it. I'm not that excited personally, but either way, it is what it is. Switch effect. So this is interesting. The base switch effect changes their own slot, including block into matching, and boost the crew's base attack for 1 turn based on the amount of HP of your crew when you launch the switch. So it means that if you're at 1 HP, you get 500 base attack boost for the whole crew, and it can be overwritten. So that's actually really nice that it can be overwritten. So it basically is like a scaling factor. So if you use the switch effect at full HP, you get like basically like 1 base attack boost increase. But then if you're at 1 HP, it's 500 increase. So the lower your HP, the more base attack that you receive. Now the super switch only requiring 6 makes sense because their captain ability has this. So that's really, really cool. You basically get a max super switch when this character is your captain, which means you get this effect to reduce this character's special charge time by 2 turns, changes their own slot including block into matching. It also does damage, 40 times this character's attack and typeless damage to all enemies. I don't know if this is going to be good enough to kill like treasure map mini bosses or anything, but it's interesting that they've got it on here. It also boosts your base attack for 1 turn based on the amount of HP when you use the switch. So if you're at 1 HP, it's a 1250 base attack boost, which is much, much better. So a lot of base attack boost here. The cooldown, damage dealing effect, matching slot. Yeah, and this also can be overwritten. So I think the switch effect in partner with their captain and their special, the whole kit makes sense. I get it. I understand what they're trying to do here, but I'm not that excited about this unit because it's Arlong Crew. Like, no one's really going to be using this character for anything, I don't think. Like, yeah, he's got a speed farm captain, I suppose. I don't know. You still have to run one of every color to actually build teams with him, so it's kind of annoying. I guess if you have him with level limit break, the fact that he has the attack boost for 3 turns, and he also resists the special reverse stuff, I guess there can be some uses for him. But I think it's going to be a little bit finicky to build teams for him. Not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of just the kit in general. I think he's okay. He's a good unit. It is a 6+. It's interesting. I'm just not sold, to be honest. I could be proven wrong. Maybe he's going to be busted for like everything. But at the moment, I don't think he's that great. He just doesn't do a whole lot. As for his rumble stuff, he doesn't seem that great either. If he has over 50% health, you get a level 4 attack buff and then a 2 times damage medium range. But then if you're below 50%, you get a bigger attack buff and you do a large range, 2.65. So just more damage if you're at lower HP. Pretty, you know, stock standard kind of stuff. Nothing really too crazy here. But he does give a rumble passive of 6 attack to everyone, and then if you're below 50%, further 6 attack to himself, and then defense level 5 to himself. Like, you know, it is what it is. But of course, if you buff it, it's slightly better, but you get level 5 HP to everyone. Okay, like, Arlong Crew, yeah, it's interesting. New 6+. I definitely thought last month's Super Evolution with Rayleigh was a bit more exciting, that's for sure. So the next character we're going to have a look at is the new SugoFest exclusive TOBI ROPPO. Now, a lot of people are probably just going to skip this one, and I highly advise you guys to do the same. I just don't think you need this unit. This unit is just... You don't need it. You just don't. So this unit is a strength, powerhouse driven, the exact same classes and color as the new Blackbeard that we just got at the start of the global anniversary. Just putting it out there. This character's captain effect, you get -1 cooldown. Strength, powerhouse and driven, get 1.25 HP, 5.25 attack, 5.5 if they have a tandem or a Wano slot, and then gives you additional multiplier damage if the enemy has increased damage taken. And then you also get attack buff if the opponent has delay, poison, venom, progressive poison, defense down, or paralysis. So we've seen this happen before. Basically, the way that it works is that only one of these can be active at a time. So if the enemy is inflicted with increased damage taken and delay, then you just get the 1.1 boost. Basically, whichever one of these is higher and is activated at the time, that's the one that you get. So you don't get like 1.1 multiplied by 1.05. It would be cool if that was the case, but that is not the case. Let me pull up the calculator real quick. How much damage are you actually getting there? So if you have the max of 5.5 times 1.1, a 6.05 times captain. I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. That's incredibly strong. But in most cases, like, are you really going to use this character as a captain? I don't know if you're going to be doing that. Furthermore, quick slots become Wano slots. That's always really nice to have, I guess. And then makes tandem slots have matching slot effects. I mean, it's pretty basic captain, you know what I mean? It's fine, it's acceptable. But I'm not that excited about it, I'll say. The special ability of this unit reduces damage reduction, Rainbow Shield, by 10 turns. Just want to put it out there, you know, we just had a strength-driven powerhouse captain that came out very, very recently, you know, who has the ability to just bypass this altogether. And now we have a new strength-driven powerhouse unit that removes the debuff by 10 turns. Okay. He also does 300 times their attack and non-type damage to a single target, so it's a damage dealing special. That's always nice to see. If the crew has color affinity when you launch the special, strength, powerhouse, and driven receive 2.5 attack for 2 turns and a 1.8 chain multiplier boost for 2 turns. That's pretty good. That's a lot of damage you're getting there. If your captain slot is similar or Wano when you launch the special, changes the crew's attack multiplier of tandem, similar, and Wano slots to 2.75. That's a pretty big buff. That's always really good to see, actually. And then it says, after that, boost the color affinity of normal attacks for strength, powerhouse, and driven by 2.75 for 2 turns, and changes the character slot, including block, including the ability to change super block, Wano, and similar slots and rainbow slots into tandem. So this character guarantees getting a tandem slot. So the way that this works in terms of the wording, you get the removal of Rainbow Shield, you do damage, and then basically it says if you have color affinity launched, that's when you get the attack boost for 2 turns and the chain multiplier boost. So basically you can ignore this for now. So when you launch the special initially, you get the removal of the Rainbow Shield, you get the damage, ignore this, and then it says if your captain has a similar or a Wano slot when you launch the special, you change the multiplier. Okay, so again, you could pretty much ignore this as well when you first launch the special. And then it says you get a color affinity boost for strength, powerhouse, and driven, 2.75 for 2 turns, and then changes this character's slot guaranteed into tandem. So this character does the color affinity, but if there's no way for this character to get their special back, which I don't think there is, right? This character doesn't have double special or anything like that. So you have to have another unit use some type of effect to get this character special back, right? Because this character, if you can launch 2 of this character special in the same turn, that's when you actually will get everything. But the fact that you need to have color affinity and you need to have a very certain slot on your captain in order to get these effects to activate, I just don't think this character makes a lot of sense right now. Maybe I'm missing something here, but like the character, when you first launch the special, that's when you get the color affinity for 2 turns, and then you get the matching slot. But then it says if you have the color affinity, that's when you get the big attack boost and chain boost. This character just seems a little wonky in my opinion. I don't know why you'd ever use this. I mean, obviously for the upcoming content, this character will be very useful for it, no doubt. But I don't think this character is that great. This character is just fine. Like, you just don't need it. You just don't need this character. Let's have a look at the super type though. The super type will go ahead and extend the duration of color affinity boost by 1 turn. So it basically makes this character's own color affinity last for 3 turns instead. It changes the right column slots, including block, into Wano. So I guess obviously you could use the super type to get the slot for this effect at least. And applies increased damage taken status to 2 times for 1 turn. and strength becomes super strength. So this doesn't go through full immunity, which I guess we can't really expect that to be the case, unless if this character is considered to be an anniversary exclusive legend. If this character is an anniversary exclusive legend, I will actually be kind of surprised. I don't think this character is like that level, unless if I'm missing something. I don't think this character, like this character doesn't seem that great to me. I don't know. If this character is any exclusive, that'd be kind of wild. And as for the condition, you just need one of the listed characters. That's a pretty easy condition to fulfill. The fact that the character is a strength-driven and powerhouse captain. One thing though is that this character does have super tandem, and this is the component of the kit that I think is the most interesting, right? So when any one of the following characters are on the crew, and you just this is the condition for level 5, right? You just need one character to tap with, and then the tandem attack boost is a 2x tandem attack boost for powerhouse and driven for 1 turn, and then reduce all enemies' threshold and damage reduction and defense by 1 turn. So the thing that I like about this is a super tandem that can actually work with Magma Kaido. And this is something that we've been waiting to see. Magma Kaido has, with the way that his rush is kind of designed, there's no good ways to utilize Rush Sugo Special and Super Tandem with him because of the way that Magma Kaido generates these Wano slots and the rush needing to be on the 2nd or 3rd tap, and it doesn't obviously align with Super Tandem. However, Super Tandems that only require 1 tap will work still with Kaido, because you could go like, you could tap with, okay, hypothetically you have like Dex Big Mom on your team, so you could tap with Big Mom, tap with the TOBI ROPPO character, activate Super Tandem, and then your 3rd tap can be with Magma Kaido, activating the rush, do the rest of your taps, and then do your final tap. This makes sense, and this does work all together very well. So if you put this in the mindset of abusing the Magma Kaido and Dex Big Mom strategy, this character can give you very big color affinity boost, guaranteed to give themselves a tandem slot, including the ability to change Wano slots, which is a big thing. This needed to happen for Super Tandem for Magma Kaido to actually make sense. So this is interesting, right? And the fact that when you actually launch the special of this unit, if you're using Magma Kaido, you're gonna have this effect activated too, to make the Wano slots become a 2.75 times multiplier. The only thing that doesn't make sense is this. Like, how are you getting a color affinity boost beforehand? That's the only thing that doesn't make sense in my opinion. So, Super Tandem is very, very good. And then the support effect, once per quest, the supported character uses special to boost orbs, reduce all enemies' rainbow shield by 2 turns. This is a very good support, especially when it attaches to so many good units. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this at all. This is very, very good. The Rumble stuff here, the Rumble passive here, Strength Allies level 5 HP, Powerhouse level 5 attack and 5 speed. And then if you have one of these listed characters on your team, then they themselves receive level 3 special CT increase. So if you're building a Strength Powerhouse squad with one of these units, you can definitely do that. Character receiving this is not an issue. 33 special CT. It's a little bit on the higher end, you know. It targets 3 enemies with high HP for 2 times damage, which is fine. If current team is 6 or more, you target yourself for level 3 attack for 30 seconds. And then if one of the listed characters is here on the team, targets enemies in a medium range for 3 times damage. Yeah, I just don't think this character is going to see play, to be honest. I guess if you're running a Strength Powerhouse squad, you get attack speed and HP, CT up for themselves. I don't know. I don't think this character is that great in Rumble. I don't think this character is really going to see play. But this character, when using it in combination with Magma Kaido, could actually be kind of spicy. But by themselves, at face value, not a big fan of this unit at all. So the next one here is Basil Hawkins. We're going to just kind of try and fly through these as much as possible, like as fast as we possibly can here. So Basil Hawkins is the new Kizuno rare recruit here. And his special is interesting, where it does 60 times attack to all enemies. It's fine. He does set all enemies' defense to 0 for 2 turns. I like that. That's a really good effect. Cancelling all attack, reducing slot effects for 2 turns. This effect basically means like block slots, super block, badly matching slots. All of those slots are basically counted as neutral slots for 2 turns. So that's interesting. That's a very odd effect. You don't see it too often. It also gives color affinity boost of strength, cerebral, and driven characters by 1.5, allowing to be overwritten. So this makes sense with the TOBI ROPPO characters. You use his special. It's an overrideable color affinity. use TOBI ROPPO. It changes it to the big color affinity boost, and because you had color affinity boost, you get the attack and chain boost. It all makes sense now. I get it. Don't know if you're going to use this character in like a super boss sense though, but either way. Boost damage dealt to delayed and increased damage taken characters by 2.25 for 1 turn. Well, that's a pretty good, little conditional boost there. And then if Captain Slot is 1, when you launch the special, boost crew's attack based on damage reduction effect applied. Maybe you do use this in a super boss. So it says, an example, 70% damage reduction is a 1.35 boost. So it's not as good as like versus Yamato's percent damage reduction based attack boost, but it's still okay. It's still free damage. If all enemies have damage reduction status when the special is launched, changes crew's empty block bomb recovery G unfavorable to tandem, and then 70% damage reduction for 2 turns. Yeah, so this is actually potentially something that you may use in a super boss sense because of the fact that he gives you the percent damage reduction base attack boost, as well as allowing the TOBI ROPPOs to get the full components of their special. Potentially may see play. I'm not going to say it will see play, but it has some unique effects that you don't see very often. It's just a very unique character overall. So we'll move on. He does have the blindness removal sailor effect, which is actually pretty good. In slots beneficial to cerebral driven, limits special use, fear resistance. Yeah, Hawkins is interesting. I think he's not too bad. Now, X Drake is the 5+ unit. This unit is the new free-to-play unit from Kizuna. And I will point out that this is a free-to-play unit that is going to have a 5x captain ability during turns you launch his special. So that's actually kind of interesting. His special is pretty decent though, because it does give -1 cooldown to Striker Slasher. It does do a bit of damage. Striker and Slasher characters get a full board of quick slots through block. Now that's pretty good because he does have the ability to resist quick, to make quick slots matching for quick and for Slasher Striker, and then also boost the attack of the next final tap for Slasher Striker by 15%. This effect is whatever, not really a big fan of it, but it's just extra damage, I suppose. And then if the crew has attack buff when you launch the special, your Striker and Slashers receive 2.25 orb boost for 1 turn that can be overwritten. But then it says, like, the new wording for this is weird, but it basically says here that if you don't have an attack buff, it gives you a 2x attack boost for Slasher and Striker for 1 turn that can also be overwritten. He does resist 2 turns of special reverse, but the cool thing is that this character does have double special. So meaning you could use this special twice in the same turn, get 2 turns of cooldown reduction whilst resisting this 2 turns of reverse, getting a full board of quick slots, which are going to be beneficial to the team. You get actually 30% buff to the next Striker or Slasher, and you get a 2.25 orb boost, a 2x attack boost. Both are overrideable. I think this character is a pretty good character overall. Pretty good. No real big qualms on my end. Now, Bao Huang is the brand new support. She's going to be the support rare recruit of the month, and her support attaches to strength quick characters that are also driven. So a little bit, minute in terms of who she attaches to, but being a strength driven or a quick driven. And her support says if the enemy changes your crew slots at any point, reduces damage by 60% for 1 turn, and reduces bind paralysis and limits special uses by 1 turn. That's very unique. This is the first support in the game that's been able to remove this debuff. Very, very unique. We'll have to see what the gimmicks are for the super boss, but I feel like if they're just going to randomly chuck in like a bunch of limit special uses so that you have to use this, that'll be kind of annoying. Bind and paralysis removal is obviously very nice to have, but it is situational at the end of the day because the enemy has to change your slots, and if the enemy doesn't change your slots, then this effect kind of sucks. You're at the mercy of whenever the enemy performs this specific action to remove these given debuffs. So you have to like get your slots changed and then be able to remove those debuffs. So it's a bit situational, but there's obviously going to be a lot of situations where this support is going to be very good. So that's the rundown of all of these new characters. Lots of interesting stuff here. So overall, I think Arlong Crew, it's an okay buff, but I'm not jumping over the moon because of it. TOBI ROPPO, by themselves, pretty bad, honestly, in my opinion. But in tandem with Magma Kaido, could actually be insanely busted. Hawkins is a very unique character. Bao Huang, very unique support rare recruit. And I think X Drake is just a solid free-to-play unit overall. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.